Order. Order. The Youth Parliament will now consider the first motion of the day. We must stop cuts that affect the NHS. The full motion is printed on the order paper. To move the motion, I call from Yorkshire and the Humber, expecting a very warm welcome from you all, Ashley Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In 1942, Sir William Beveridge said that medical treatment covering all requirements will be provided for all citizens by a National Health Service. The NHS was born. 74 years later, the National Health Service, the service that has provided for countless young people across the country, is at risk of being cut to a service that provides a bare minimum. The government has set out plans for the NHS to make £22 billion of efficiency savings by running the service more efficiently. However, the important issue is whether or not this will affect the quality of service that is provided. £22 billion is more than double the amount that the government spends on the entire transport department, so we mustn't underestimate the scale of savings that are to be made. These savings affect all of you directly, from the amount of time you'll wait to see your doctor to the availability of a dentist's appointment in your local authority. In places such as Huddersfield, we've already seen the devastating effects that these cuts are having. Here, the proposal to close the A&E department has been given the go-ahead in order to centralise services to Halifax, meaning that people needing often life-saving treatment are having to travel even further to get this. We must have our views and interests heard and stop further cuts such as this. At a local level, many services are finding that the funding they receive per patient is reducing. This includes services such as school nursing. Surely it is wrong to cut such local and, more importantly, vital services. Surely it is wrong that healthcare is becoming a sort of postcode lottery, depending on the amount of funding that your local area receives. I believe this is fundamentally wrong. Over the past year, the UK Youth Parliament has been campaigning to improve mental health services, and we've seen some amazing changes, especially in my local area of Rotherham, where we've met with service providers. We should continue to improve mental health services across the country, but surely this cannot be possible if we allow the devastating cuts to the NHS to take place. Cuts that will dismantle, damage and dissolve the National Health Service that we all know and love. Everyone has mental health, and the cuts should not put this at stake. MYPs, we should be lobbying local NHS trusts, MPs and unions to protect services specifically for young people. To me, that one unavailable appointment in your A&E department could potentially be the difference between a life and death-threatening situation. The NHS may be a complex issue, but that doesn't mean that change is impossible. Change happens when you fight for something you believe in. Change happened in 1948 when the NHS was founded, and change can happen here today in this chamber. Nye Bevan once said that the NHS will last as long as there are folk left with faith to fight in it. Now I ask you all this question: do you have the faith to fight for your NHS? Thank you.
Ashley, thank you for a very fluent and assured start to our proceedings.